I always believed trust wasn't something you earned once. It was something you protected every day. That belief held me steady through most of my life, and it was the foundation of what I thought I had with Claire. 3 years together and we'd built what looked like stability. Shared rent, shared dreams, shared routines. She knew how I liked my coffee, and I knew when she was about to fake a laugh. It was that kind of closeness that makes you think nothing could ever break it. The first crack appeared on a Tuesday night. I came home early from work because a client meeting got canceled. Claire didn't expect me. I remember walking into our apartment and hearing the faint hum of her voice coming from the kitchen. Low, secretive, like she was trying not to be overheard. I almost called out to her, but something in her tone froze me. It wasn't her usual warm chatter. It was sharper, nervous. So I stood quietly by the doorway. She was on the phone, saying words that made the air around me turn cold. No, he won't be home before 7. Yeah, I'll tell him I'm meeting Emily for drinks. Don't worry, I'll make sure it's somewhere private. There was a small pause. Then she laughed softly, that laugh she used to give me when she wanted to sound innocent. My stomach dropped. I didn't need to hear more. The conversation went on for another minute, but my mind was already miles away, connecting every tiny red flag I'd ignored. Her sudden new work friend. The late-night texts she'd tilt her phone away to read. The sudden interest in going out with the girls. I'd brushed it all off, convincing myself I was being paranoid. When she ended the call and turned around, I was standing right there. For a split second, her face went pale, then she forced a smile. "Hey, you're home early," she said, voice trembling. I didn't respond. I just looked at her, really looked, and saw guilt plain as day. "Who were you talking to?" I asked quietly. She hesitated, then reached for the easy lie. "Just Emily." "Want to show me the call log?" I said. My tone wasn't angry. It was calm, too calm, maybe. The kind of calm that scares people more than shouting. Her eyes darted, and she said, "You don't trust me anymore?" But her voice cracked halfway through. I nodded slowly. "I used to." She tried to explain that it was just a misunderstanding, that she was planning a surprise dinner for me, that I'd ruined it. But the words felt rehearsed, desperate. I walked past her, into the living room, where her phone lay face down on the couch. One tap and the truth spilled out. The contact's name wasn't Emily. It was Ryan, a coworker she'd once sworn was just a friend. My hands didn't shake. My heart didn't race. I just felt empty, like something inside me had quietly died without drama or noise. I placed the phone back on the couch and said, "I'm not going to yell. I'm just done." That was the moment everything changed. She panicked, of course. She ran after me, grabbed my arm, begged me to listen. It wasn't what it sounded like. "I swear. Please, don't walk away like this." But I was already halfway to the door. I'd spent too long in relationships where sorry was just a reset button. She said, "We can fix this, James. I'll do anything." I looked at her, the same person who once made me believe in forever, and realized something painful. I didn't even want her apology. What I wanted was my peace back. So I opened the door, stepped out, and didn't look back. The night air hit me like a slap of clarity. For the first time in months, maybe years, everything felt quiet. Not the kind of silence that hurts, but the kind that tells you it's finally over. I walked down our street without a destination, just letting my thoughts catch up to what had happened inside that apartment. Every step felt like I was shedding a layer of denial. By the time I reached the small park near the river, my phone was buzzing nonstop. 10 missed calls, 5 unread messages, all from her. "Please come back. It's not what you think. I made a mistake. I love you." The same words that once meant everything now looked hollow on my screen. I sat on a bench, watching the water move under the bridge. There's something about watching a river at night. It never goes backward, no matter what's thrown into it. I realized that's what I needed to do. Keep moving forward. Over the next few days, the apartment felt less like home and more like evidence. Her perfume on the pillows, her coffee mug by the sink, the small sticky note on the fridge that said "pick up milk." I left everything untouched. I didn't pack immediately. I didn't argue or block her. I just went quiet. Sometimes silence is the loudest answer you can give. On the third day, she showed up at my work. My coworkers glanced nervously when they saw her standing by the door, eyes red, clutching her phone like it could save her. "James, please, can we talk?" she said softly. I led her outside, not wanting to make a scene. She started explaining before I even spoke. It wasn't physical. I needed attention. I felt like we were drifting apart. It was stupid. I swear I would never have gone through with it. There it was, the same justification everyone gives when they're caught. The truth wasn't that she'd made a mistake. It was that she'd made a choice. I said, "You didn't have to cheat to know we were drifting apart. You just had to talk." Tears rolled down her face. "Please, I can't lose you over one stupid night." I looked at her, trying to feel the anger I thought I should feel, but all I felt was distance. Whatever connection we once had already snapped. "You lost me the moment you decided to plan it," I said quietly. She stood there, frozen, watching as I turned back toward the building. For the first time, I didn't feel like the one being left behind. Weeks passed. I found a new place. Small, clean, and quiet. I started cooking again, something I hadn't done since we moved in together. At first, the silence in that apartment felt strange, but slowly it started to feel like peace. I'd wake up without dread, go to work, come home, and not worry about checking someone's messages for reassurance. Every now and then, I'd get another text from her. They changed over time. The first few were apologies. Then came nostalgia. "Remember our first trip to Boston?" Later, regret. "You were the best thing that ever happened to me." I never replied. One evening, months later, I ran into her by accident at a grocery store. She looked different, thinner, tired, wearing that same necklace I'd once given her for her birthday. She smiled weakly and said, "You look good." I nodded. "You too." We talked briefly, polite but distant. As she walked away, I realized how much power there is in letting go quietly. No revenge, no shouting, just peace. When I left that night months ago, I thought I was losing everything. But now, standing there under the flickering store lights, I understood something deeper. Sometimes walking away isn't weakness. It's the strongest thing you can do, because love built on lies doesn't collapse all at once. It fades, piece by piece, until one day you finally decide you deserve better. And that's exactly what I did.